coming at least I haven't seen anybody coming hungry. And we were many times hungry. At least I was, not many of them. And if we give a little bit of much homework here, people talk about pressure. Pressure is this: when you go and on your way to shul, you don't know how many times you are hit, because it depends how many times you run in to a Hungarian soldier, or to a Hungarian drunkard, or to a Hungarian policeman, whatever. And you always get, somehow you get kicked or hit or spit at. And then you come back, and at night you again learn, and you have no questions. You don't even think it's too hard for you. Sometimes you learn even at night when there's no light. And just the motivation, it's amazing how permeated it was all through the population, this drive, this goal, this for achieving, for learning, for excelling. It's something to be admired of.
Did you
I'm
always,
not talking myself, I'm talking in general now.
did you always maintain your belief in the Almighty?
I never questioned it, never entered that my mind.
Did you ever think about why this was all happening to you?
No, at that time we were not occupied with these things. Somehow we took it for granted that Jews have to be beaten up, the Jews have to be done. After the war, there once or twice entered my mind, what happened here? Why? What's going on here? What happened? What is the sin that my little brother committed? Maybe grown-ups, maybe they have sinned. But what did my little brother do? It did, but only for a while, only for a little while. And I ascribe this to the influence, to the strong influence that I had from my grandfather, the Chimperuf. He was a tremendous influence on me. My father was so far-seeing that he made sure that I spent with him a year. And this was a tremendous, he was a wholly dedicated person, serious, sincere. And the home and the atmosphere, that's what I credited with. So at that time, we sort of took it for granted. We didn't philosophize. That's how the life of Jews were.
When was the actual last time you saw your father alive?
In 42 by the station.
And do you know what happened to him after that?
I don't know. He went to the Ukraine again, and I tried to picture what happened. I tried to picture what he did there. And from the stories that I heard, the winds, I can see the wilderness. Russia is so great, so big, and yet everything is snow. Everything is, they have no food, no clothing, and beaten. It's awful to think of it. It's awful to think of it.
So you never found out for sure?
I never found out for sure what it was. I had different rumors, as I said. Some rumors had it that he died in 43. Some rumors had that he was captured by the Russian and organized and mobilized by the Czech army. The Czech army mobilized a whole army to liberate Czechoslovakia, and I understand he was there an officer. It's a matter of fact, after the war, I was approached by the Czech authorities if I want an apartment, because they also heard that rumors that there was an officer, Adler, there. But I never was able to verify that or to have, everybody just said, yes, I heard it, somebody told me, so on, but I was never able to verify it.
So you remained with your mother and your brothers and
we
sister?
We remained with my brothers and my sisters and my great-grandfather.
Until?
Until 44. In March 44, the Germans officially marched into Hungary, to our part. And the first thing they did is they looked around for quarters for the officers and for their soldiers. Soldiers, they had barracks, but the officers, they wanted to have special rooms. And we had a pretty nice apartment. We had 3 rooms there. But when you entered the kitchen, then followed a room which was used for me to sleep, and also for a dining room. And then there was an other, and also for my brother, and there was an other bedroom where my mother and my sister and the younger brother slept. So when the Hungarians or the Germans came in, they looked around, they said, we like this room. So we were hoarded in all together in one room to sleep, and the officers took there. Now, to describe you what we felt those few weeks, or I don't even know whether a few weeks, maybe we're talking about 10 days or 12 days, we didn't know. To us, they looked beautiful uniforms, big revolvers. At night, every night when they came home late, and each time they came in, we didn't know, will they shoot us, will they hit us, will they do something to us? I remember I tried to cover myself, maybe they won't see me, but childishly, but this was what was. But the fear, oh, people don't know what fear does to you. The fear, the terrible fear. And my mother especially was afraid what's going to happen to her children, and she always made sure, sleep, don't worry, everything will be okay. But these officers never harmed us, never talked to us. And for a minute we were hopeful. We said maybe all this news that we heard that's happening, maybe it's not true. You know, hope, that's the interesting thing, that you grasp at every straw. So we saw, maybe, listen, look, they're there, they come in every night and they don't harm us.
What had you heard?
We heard rumors that a lot of people are killed by the SS, but you didn't know how. We just heard from the Polish Jews that came over, you know, but it was sketchy, but we knew that there was trouble there. Then came the decree that all the Jews had to move in certain streets, designated certain streets for a ghetto. You're not allowed to leave the ghetto. If you leave, you'll be shot. Luckily, in one of those streets that was designated as a ghetto, we had an uncle living. He had a little house. He made room for us there. So we packed up again. We started to pack. My mother said, what should we take? What can we take? You're not allowed to take any furniture, but we need some pillows, we need some clothing, we need some food. So we packed on packlach. Everybody carried a packle, and we moved into the ghetto. And we didn't leave that ghetto for another week or two or something like that. I don't remember exactly. It wasn't long. It was about another week or two until the next order came that everybody has to go to move to, there was outside of the city was a brick factory. And at the brick factory there were trains coming in where they deliver the thing. And there we're going to be congregated, and from there we will be transported families, and we're going to go to work. That was the rumors that was spread by the Germans, by the Hungarian army, that you'll be relocated where you're going to work, you're going to have houses, you're going to be together with your families, nothing will happen to you. And we believed it, at least we wanted to believe it. So my mother started, so we had a warning about 24 hours or 12 hours, I don't remember how long we get to pack and to go to that, it's called Tegloyar, a brick factory, where the trains were there coming in.
What was it called?
It's called in Hungarian Tegloyar. Teglo means brick, Yar means factory. Tegloyar, which is a big, huge place, you know, where you got to store those blocks, you could store those blocks, and where they could gather people, transport. So my mother started to bake, to take an arbeit, and we had jewelry. Before we left for Munkac, my grandmother Hinde, and again, I didn't speak enough about her. She was a holy person, she was a good person. I'm so sorry that I haven't got more children that I can call on her name. Although my granddaughter is called Aviva Hinde. But she was something special, so she had a special jewelry, a brooch. And she said, she gave it to me, and she said, you're the oldest, my oldest grandson, I want you to give it to your color when you were married. It was something beautiful. So my mother said, what should we do with it? So we decided we're going to bury it because we were sure we're coming back. So I remember I went out at night, and me being now the man of the house. So where am I going to bury it? How am I going to remember where it is? I remember I opened the door from the outside, and exactly where the door ended, by the corner, I made a hole, and I buried all the jewelry. So I remember where the jewelry is. In case I come back, I will find that brooch there. That's what I did. So the following day, the Hungarian policemen with those cockroaches, bayonets, and other people were waiting for us. And we started marching through the streets toward the Tegla yard, toward the brick factory. On the way, the population gathered, and you could see the happiness in their face. Now they have the houses of the Jews. Now they have the furniture of the Jews. They were taunting us. And on the way, we got hit. If somebody got stopped by the police, kicked, spat at, cursed. I remember the look at my mother. Each time she only wanted to absorb. She wished that any stick that fell on her children should fall on her. She always put herself out. She should get the beating instead of us. We marched with our great-grandfather. Can you imagine? An 86-year-old man. We were supporting him, the great-grandchildren, the grandchildren, to march. Anyhow, we come to the Tegla yard. We slept over there. But who could sleep? Nobody could sleep. We found a place where and always the mother said, let's stay together, let's stay together. And then come the time when they started loading us on the wagons, cattle wagons. They brought in wagons where they delivered cattle. And they started hitting us and pushing us up the kettles into the wagons. There were about 70 and 100 people in one. There was no room to breathe, no room to sit, no room to stand. Luckily, my mother was managed to have her children together, but unfortunately my grandfather and the rest of the family probably went on a different wagons. I don't know, but we were separated. I haven't seen them since. It was a big family, uncles, aunts, cousins. A lot of people. I don't know anyone who survived. And before we were loaded in, the policemen started to rob us from any jewelry that we have, any valuable possessions that we had. There were no angels, the Hungarians. Definitely no angels. And then they locked the wagons on us. And we couldn't breathe. We couldn't. So and the train started to roll. And slowly I still hear those wheels going, whoop, whoop. It's always in my mind. But we still hoped, that we're going to be together. And then we went for days and nights. It seemed no end. And when we stopped at the station, all we could see out, we had little windows that we could look out, dogs, SS running around, and wherever we could stretch out a hand for a little water, for a little air. If you had your feet stretched out, and if you took it in, you couldn't find your place again to put it back. And my mother always wanted to make sure that we are sitting and she is standing. And finally, we left Czechoslovakia and we came into Poland. Then we know it's going to be a big change. How do I know it's Poland? Because I saw the cities' names. I can't remember exactly the cities' names. But I do know that's the first time I saw a dead person. People died because there was not enough air in those wagons. And we traveled for day and night, and those trains going and going and going, and there's no air, no water, nothing. Each time they stopped by the station, all you could hear is verfluchte Hunde.
What is that?
Verfluchte Hunde, you dirty dog or something. That's a German cursing. Then suddenly, in the middle of the night, we arrived to Birkenau. We were half asleep, probably, or half dead, who knows. And suddenly the doors opened. And all I know that in jumped SS and Kapos. Kapos mean the people who were there for a long time, and they were made in charge. And they started hitting over the head. And shouting, all those shouting, this cursing and shouting. You didn't know what's happening. You didn't know. You suddenly felt a terrible air. Little did I know what the air was.
What was it?
It's from the crematorium. From the crematorium.
It was smelling smoke.
It was smoke. Didn't know what it was. All we heard is, again, hitting and cursing, out, 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 leave everything in the wagon, leave everything in the wagon, out, out, heraus, heraus, Hunde, Hunde, heraus, heraus. And
Did you think that you would live? Did you think you would survive the train ride?
No, right now, no. We couldn't even think of, we were, I don't know, we didn't have any sense of anything. But I did know that my mother always said, let's stay together, let's stay together, let's stay together. So my mother took one child, Benzine, and my sister Fegi, and I took my young brother Yisrael on my hands, and we started pushing, I didn't know, left, right, who knew what it was. And I saw my mother sort of push to the left, and I instinctively wanted to follow her. And I was confronted by an officer, which later I was told was Dr. Mengele. He sort of had a riding, how do you call this, riding sticks. Beautiful, tailored uniform. He just sort of showed with his finger to the right. And I instinctively wanted to follow my mother when I got a push, and somebody whispered to me, when Mengele tells you to go right, you go right. And those laughed. Then I said something, I don't know what I said, and this laughter, this laughter, this laughter. And they said, there are only two ways out here. And one way is out of the chimney. I had no idea what it is. But I do remember being told I was tall, by the way. I was just as tall when I was young than now. I was very well developed. I was taught in German, which is Yiddish, which I more or less understand. He told me, erst wirst du arbeiten, first you work, and then you will krepieren, and then you will die. I didn't know what's all about.
Who said that?
One of the officers there, one of the SS men.
When Mengele had you go left or right, did he speak or did he just motion with the finger?
As far as I remember, he just motioned. I didn't. There's so many shouting going on, the shouting and hitting, that all I ever remember is seeing this godlike person, or this devil-like person, I should say.
Did you get a very good look at him?
Not really. Not really. I didn't dare to look. I looked to my brother, and suddenly my brother was taken out. I didn't even see him anymore. Just disappeared.
Were you touched by him? Did he touch you?
Mengele? No. No. But others touched me. Others hit me.
Did you go together with your brothers and sister?
I said we were together for a while, until we were separated. And then, as I said, he was torn out of my hand.
So at what point, when he was said go left or right, that's the point that you were separated?
That's the point I was separated.
And from your mother too?
My mother was by that time already swallowed up somewhere on the left. I was trying to follow her, but I didn't see her.
So you didn't see her, and then you didn't see your brothers or sisters?
I didn't see my sister, but I had to hold on to the little brother Yisroel until he was grabbed out of my hand. Oh, that feeling. If there's justice in the world, and yeah. Then we were lined up, sort of in 5, and we were rushed to our gathering place where they gathered us up. Where they told us to undress. And everything was sorted away, jackets in one place, pants in one place, shirts in one place, everything organized, German punctuality. And we were standing there, shivering. At one time, I don't remember exactly this cycle, one time we were naked. We were told we were going to go into a sort of shower. And again, all the time hitting just for the fun of it. Oh, did it hurt? Did it hurt? But we were sort of numb. We come into the showers. It was clean, very, very clean. We were handed a little soap. The soap had letters in it. RIF. We didn't know what it was. Now I know.
What does RAF mean?
Rein Judenfett.
Which means?
Pure Jewish fat. And we were waiting. We felt something, some smell. But then the water came. It probably was left from before. Then we were marched to Auschwitz. This happened to Birkenau. We were marched to Auschwitz in rows of 5.
How long were you in Birkenau?
I think a night. I mean, this is all not very clear in my mind. Then we went to, well, it's a march. I don't know how long we marched. I have no idea. Then came the Share Command, or before that. I mean, maybe I'm not very clear now. Where we had to, where they shaved us, and when they cut our hair, there was one thing they left in the middle like this, more hair, like the rest. Let's say you were with very short hair here was even totally, so there will be a sign. Who knows why, but now I know why, because this is the way you couldn't run away. For some reason they thought somebody can run away from there. We saw those towers. Oh, the towers were the Germans with those ready rifles. And the barbed wire, which we were told that if you come north you will be electrocuted. And in Auschwitz, we went into a barrack. Auschwitz, I think, was about 40 miles, 40 kilometers, I don't know what it was, wide. Consisted of different blocks. I don't know what block I was. We went in, and the block elder greeted us. He said, "You dumb Hungarians, you dumb Hungarians. Why did you come? You're so close to being," because that was almost toward the end of the war. You were so close to being, you came here. And that's how. Okay.
Tape number 4, December 13, 1995. Rabbi, how long were you in Auschwitz?
I was in Auschwitz not a long time, probably about 2 weeks. I just want to mention 2 more things and then what happened. And as I said, when the elder announced, sort of said to you dumb Hungarians, why did you come here? We sort of started to have an idea that's not going to be here a picnic. At that time, we didn't know what happened to our families. Nobody knew. We kept hoping one of these days we're going to be reunited. We still somehow hoped, because they didn't let on to the last minute what's happening. Although here and there you could see the Sonderkommanders running back and forth. Sonderkommanders means those that handle the dead people and so on. As a matter of fact, on one occasion they grabbed a few people, a few inmates to help out, and I was unfortunately one of them. With the Sonderkommander, where we supposed to gather up the corpses. I want to talk about that. In the meantime, we didn't have any food. Hunger started annoying us up. We were told again and again, if anybody is found with any possession, will be shot, and not plain shot, but tortured. And they knew how to torture. Oh, did they know how to torture. Even the way they hit, they know where to hit, know where it hurts the most. They used to knock out teeth, pull water in the ears, all those kind of tortures they gave. We were handed After the shower, as I said, we went to the clothing, whatever you call it, clothing place where you got your clothing, which consisted of a pajama-like uniform, blue and with blue stripes, with a round head. And obviously, I don't know why it happened, a smaller person got a big size